Hey everyone, Mousy Gamer, welcome back to Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot, the First Cases. In the last video, we completed Chapter 5, The Secret, and now we're entering
Detective, what is the meaning of all this?
Madame,
Chapter 6.
I ask that you all lend me your ears for only a few moments. What I have to say is of great significance to everyone. You are all invited here to celebrate the engagement of Mademoiselle Angeline van den Bosch and Monsieur Gédéon Demire, the coming together of two prevalent families. But the celebrations were short-lived, as Major Felix Hagen was found dead in his study by a young servant of the house. It then became my responsibility and obligation as a detective to uncover the truth behind his demise. My initial examination of his study exposed a number of things I did not expect to find. Things I have no desire to divulge at this time, but what I can say is this. It was no simple murder. A letter demanding ransom for a continued silence confirmed this. I am sure some, if not all of you, have heard whispers of a series of blackmails that have plagued the social elite in recent weeks. After hearing of the letters in the Major study, you may ask if it was him behind the letters. You may further ask if he was preparing his next threat to another unsuspecting victim. It is a question that crossed even my mind. That was until I sought the truth. That in fact it was the Major that had fallen victim to our blackmailer Mystérieux. Last night I spoke with you all, confirmed your whereabouts in the house over the course of the evening, and while I would have expected such questioning to reveal a potential suspect, what I learned was that it could not have been one of you.
What do you mean, not one of us? The man was stabbed. He hardly did that to himself. There is still a killer in the house.
Pardon, monsieur, if you would allow me to finish. It could not have been only one of you. Rather a partnership, in cahoots, if you will. Conversations today have revealed facts that I was not expecting to discover. And although they may have muddied and complicated my investigation, what I must do to bring the guilty parties to justice has become clearer. Those of you that spun stories in an attempt to confuse and derail my investigation have made a grave mistake in underestimating my intelligence. Other detectives may fall for such deception, but I can assure you, Detective Poirot is no such fool. My investigation is far from over, and swift justice shall be dealt to those that have committed such appalling acts and have continued to mislead and lie to protect themselves. Now, I must continue mon enquête, and I shall leave you to consider that you may be beside a cold-hearted killer. Bonsoir. Monsieur Sterling, un moment.
Speech, detective.
Indeed, now let the search begin.
Merci, but it was not made to entertain, more to warn the guilty parties that I am hot on their heels, no matter how clever they believe themselves to be.
Well, if there is anything I can do.
I would like to search the guests' bedrooms.
Is that really necessary?
Actually, yes.
The murderer remains at large, and there is still no sign of the weapon. I would say that makes them essential.
Of course. I still just cannot imagine any of them being guilty of his murder.
It may be hard to imagine, but it is the truth.
When you returned to the study last night, did you notice anything different from your previous visit?
Nothing. But I was so preoccupied with the Major. Sorry, detective. Should I have?
It's okay.
Perhaps it was just my mind playing games again.
Maybe one of the guests got lost and wandered in.
Maybe. A guest has taken a wrong turn, finding themselves in the Major's bedroom first. I am sure they would not have proceeded through the next door unless they were not lost at all. Who has access to the safe in the Major study?
Master Hagen had a key, obviously, and Lady van den Bosch.
And what about you? Alright, we already know this about the key. Regarding access to the safe, you have seen its contents before.
When requested, aye. If something is required from there when Master Hagen is not around.
Forgive me. If he is not around, how is it you access this safe?
It's not what you think, Detective.
What I think is that you have been trusted with a copy of the key, and you have lied to me about it.
I only lied because of the trouble I can get into with Lady Vandenbosch.
At this moment, monsieur, you should be more worried about the trouble you shall find yourself in with the law.
True.
I know how it will sound, but I lost my key. I must have set it down somewhere, and it has been tidied away. Master Hagen asked so rarely for me to go in the safe, I didn't think it would be missed.
Or it was pickpocketed off of you. Sterling's story of his lost key strikes me as rather coincidental. The major's safe is broken into, with documents ransacked and letters involving Madame Vandenbosch's secret. Yeah. It is a crime with no apparent purpose. Okay.
I should have said this morning. I'm sorry.
Monsieur, I am not quite sure you understand the severity of what has happened.
Not sure he does either.
I am well aware, Detective. I just thought she would be able to help.
Would you allow a man with a smoking gun to remove his bullet from a victim's chest?
I suppose not.
I understand that Sterling was only trying to help, but surely he must have seen what it could do for the integrity of the investigation.
I would like to begin my searches now. Since it is closest, I will start with the west wing.
I may not be back when you return. Here is the key to the other rooms. Please return it when you're done.
If I can find you.
Merci. I shall guard it with my life.
First, let us pay the Countess a visit. Must I? I guess I must. Alright. Look for the murder weapon and any evidence that could be from the blackmailer. Check. Alright, so what am I doing now? I was told to go talk to somebody first. No, can't go in there. Alright. Jackie's room. The Countess. Should make myself known before entering.
Entrez?
The Countess's room. It would be rude to not address her before searching. Alright.
Detective, what a pleasure. I did not expect to see you in my chambers.
If you say so.
In a purely professional capacity, I can assure you.
There's no need to act so stiff, Detective.
Madame, after the revelation of your actions last night, I'm afraid my sense of humor is all but gone.
I will not apologize again for merely trying to help. Shall we get straight to it then? Let us not waste your time any further, Detective.
I saw you conversing with one of the young servants yesterday.
That would be Inga. She has been one of the most promising young women that has come from the shelter.
Madame Vandenbosch took in a young lady from your shelter.
There is no need to sound so surprised, Detective. She does have a heart.
Yeah, but she also has a fickle personality to where she'll throw someone out for a false accusation.
I did not mean to sound so cruel. I just did not expect Madame to hire someone of that background after the incident with her previous maid, Florette.
People change, Detective. You should not judge someone on their past actions.
That's half true.
Believe me, Countess, I know that only too well.
Alright. I commend you on your dedication with the women you help. It's most honorable.
Be careful, detective. That almost sounded like a compliment.
Well, it was.
It is your actions in this house that have been questionable, madame. Your work outside is something that many more could take note of.
We do what we can.
Alright. Have you been able to find many of the girls from the shelter work?
We wouldn't be doing a very good job if I could only help one girl. I in fact found work for one of them as a maid in Monsieur da Silva's house recently.
She has fitted into Monsieur's home well.
What is better, detective? That she remained in an abusive house, or she is able to rebuild her life with an honest wage in a prosperous house?
True.
When put like that, is she happy in her position?
The happiest she has been in years. I check in with them all as often as possible. And if there was a problem, I would know.
I'm glad to hear that more girls are building a better future for themselves. And it is with help from the Countess that it has been able to happen.
Merci, madame.
Alright. Look around. Romantic mode. The wonders of modern technology. What a joy it must be to have music in one's home.
Aha.
The chance to play is very tempting, but you don't want to embarrass yourself, of course. Getting lost in the flames. First aid kit. Oh, she did say she was either a nurse or a doctor or something. She has medical training. So a first aid kit would not be surprising. I recognize this box. Perhaps a present from the family as a thank you for their hospitality. Stupid plant. Got the window. Alright, now we see what I can find. Okay. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay.
Go ahead, detective.
Tell me about the first aid kit.
A compliment and now an apology. Well, detective, you certainly have changed your tune.
Not really.
There was something I was still unsure of. You mentioned that your training was some years ago.
Excuse me.
From my days as a nurse, oui.
If that is so, why would you have brought several pieces of equipment usually found in a physician's bag?
One must always be prepared, detective.
Prepared? At an engagement celebration?
If I had not brought them, I would not have been able to assist you last night. Perhaps you should be thankful for my precaution and not so suspicious.
Suspicious? Poirot's suspicious of everybody. On every case. And had he not brought them at all, I would not have to ask such questions.
Merci, madame.
Alright, next room. Oh. Okay. The ever-guarded Jacqueline. Conrad, it is time I should question her on her conversation with the Major before searching her room.
Detective, what can I do for you?
Answer my questions for me, and then let me search the room.
Mademoiselle, I am sure you understand my reasoning for such intrusion.
If it's going to clear my name, be my guest.
If you wouldn't mind answering some questions, it can hopefully be cleared faster.
I'd like to start with your relationship with the Major.
Like I said, he's not the man he wants everyone to think he is.
Well, that's obvious.
Oui. But how is it you came to that conclusion?
You don't really want me to recount every conversation I've had with him, do you?
No.
There is one particular I had in mind.
Tell me about your argument.
An argument would imply it was a two-way conversation.
And that is not how it was?
Here it is. I've been helping Angeline get exposure, her marriage to Gideon is big news, and his work is really paving the way for others. I saw the chance to get their names out there, and he didn't like it.
What was there not to like?
Your guess is as good as mine, Detective. But if I had to, I'd say he was jealous it wasn't his name at the top of the article.
It's possible, but I have other speculations on that.
And his reason to storm off?
Oh, you know about that. Let's just say I didn't accept his pathetic attempt to get me to stop the story. If you're gonna try and pay someone off, at least make it worth their while.
Thought the Major would only be supportive of Angeline. There must be more to why he would not want her success to be known. Alright, tell me about Becker.
You've really got a fascination with that guy, huh?
Unfortunately, yes.
I would not say fascination. An interest, perhaps.
Well, I'll save you the bother of trying to find out more about him. He's not that interesting. In fact, he's a bit of a wimp if you ask me.
That is not the impression I got of him.
That's because you've only seen the side of him he wants you to. He knows what to say in front of the right people. But behind closed doors, he's clueless.
Clueless in what way?
Let me guess. The first thing he told you was that he was a union leader. No, the voice of the people.
He did use both, yes.
A man that is proud of his work is not something to be sneered at.
Don't get me wrong, he has a way with words, and he can certainly rally a crowd, but that's about it. At the end of the day, he's a representative and nothing more. He's got to play the part, not just learn the lines.
It would help if you did. Jacqueline does not think particularly highly of Becker. She is a strong, independent woman, but to use the term wimp is an unnecessary attack on his character.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
Sure thing, Detective. And if you change your mind on that exclusive about that shooting...
Yes, I know where to find you.
If I do change it, you shall be the first to know.
Alright, more music.
Aha.
Jackie Conrad, about the riots linked to Ernesto's factory. Okay. 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 More music. Did you just turn that on, Poirot? Yeah, nothing, no. Cupboard. Doesn't seem to be anything in here. More letters and pocket knife.
Huh.
Presume this belongs to Jackie. Chasing a good story may lead her into some precarious scenarios. Fireplace.
Huh.
Jackie has set up a makeshift office in her room. She must bring her work with her everywhere. I'm sure she does. Alright. More information over here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not what I was going for, but oh well. Let's check the book. Alright. Now one more time with Jackie.
Go right ahead,
I'm surprised to learn De Silva and the Major work together.
All Felix cared about was money and filling his pockets with it. That's why he got into bed with De Silva.
the Major was not in need of money, though.
Need and want are two very different things. Did he need to move here and leech off the Madame? No, but he wanted to.
Uh-huh. Tell me your opinion of their work together.
As far as I know, De Silva hired him to work security. He was worried what could happen to his precious factories if things got ugly.
And your reporters were there to cover the story when it did turn that way.
My reporters go where there is news to be told.
And you predicted the violence that occurred?
Anyone could see that was gonna happen. If you ask me, Hugo should have acted sooner.
Well, my curiosity is, did your reporters go there because they had a feeling there was going to be an issue, or did they cause the issue?
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
Next. Alright. Here we are in Angeline and Gideon's room. Wonder what we shall find. 2 pairs of shoes. Luggage. Drawers are open. Photograph. Seems to be closer. It's a picture of Gideon and Zach. Window. Drinking globe.
Oh.
Alright, so nothing new here. Just taking note, there's a drinking globe in here. And the bed. I could have mistaken it for my own. Feel like I'm missing something here.
Huh.
I'm stuck. Stuck. You don't want to let me go that way. Fine. Go around.
Oh.
Checking everything in this room because there's no one to talk to. The windows, the clocks, fireplace, even the piano all say the same thing. And there's nothing new here. With all of the west guest rooms searched, should make my way to the guest rooms on the east of the first floor. There must be evidence of collusion somewhere. Alright, if you say so. Hello?
Mademoiselle, we meet again.
Bonjour, Monsieur Poirot. Pardon, Détective Poirot.
Just a detective is quite all right.
Bon, can I help you with something?
Answer these questions for me and I'll be on my way.
I was taking him a plate of food, but he didn't answer to my knocking.
You then entered the study.
I did. He wasn't moving. He just lay there.
I did not mean to upset you again. Seeing him there would be troubling for anyone, and I'm sure it is not a memory you wish to relive.
Alright, relationship with the other staff.
I suppose we're like a family. We argue, but most of the time we get along.
You must all be quite close, then.
Some more than others.
You refer to whom, mademoiselle?
Well, Maman Ray, sorry, Rihanna, she's been here the longest, and she's very close with Lizzie on account of Luke.
Uh-huh. Okay. How is Elizabeth, late fiancée, connected?
Maman Ray is Luke's sister. You didn't know that?
I did not.
I thought she would have said. She talks about him all the time. It must have been awful, losing him in those riots. Apparently, he was right at the front when they were charged. They didn't stand a chance. If I had been the one responsible for his death, I wouldn't want Maman Ray looking for me.
Mademoiselle Rihanna, Maman Ray, she has expressed her desire for revenge.
Every time she talks about what happened.
Alright. So... interesting. How is it that the knowledge of Luke's death has eluded me for so long? The death of a brother is certainly motive enough. I did not see an aggressive side to Rihanna when we spoke, but I wonder if she would act on such impulses for revenge if the opportunity arose. She might, depending on her character. Alright, answer this last question for me and I'll be on my way.
I guess you wouldn't know anything about life on the streets.
It is not an experience I have had to face personally, but I understand that many are forced into it, and the lifestyle that comes with it.
The lifestyle of a thief, you mean?
Put rather bluntly, oui.
You are the first officer that has not taken one look at me and pulled out their handcuffs.
Mademoiselle, I can see you have turned your life around, and I commend you on your efforts.
Without the Countess, I would probably be rotting in a cell somewhere.
There's an obvious alliance to the Countess and an understandable one at that.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Alright. Inga may seem nothing more than a young, innocent maid, but there is something that she is withholding. If I am to solve the case before me, I must learn what it is. Oh, and there's not enough information here for me to be able to put two and two together. So, I need to figure out who I actually need to talk to be able to get more information. Wonder if Zach is as seemingly innocent as his brother. I should speak with him before searching his room.
Monsieur Demir, I hope you are feeling better today.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
Très bien. I wonder if you would be up to discussing certain matters with me.
Whatever you need.
I'm sorry if dealing with the Major's body brought up any familiar emotions.
I lost my taste for death a long time ago, but it had to be done. I'm certainly in no rush to be carrying a dead body again, though.
Most understandable. I shall extend the same gratitude to you as I did to your brother.
You've spoken to him already. How is he?
Perhaps that should be a question you ask him yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
Spoke with your brother about your past.
I bet he had a lot to say. He always did have an opinion on the war.
When I say your past, I refer to your past as brothers.
Okay, well, what did he say?
It seems you both had the same sentiment for this party. Perhaps the bridges that you thought were once burnt are in fact primed to be reconstructed.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going to be. Until he sees my point of view, I don't know how we can move forward.
That is the trouble with perspectives. They're hard to see one another.
What is there for him to understand before the bond can be repaired?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
Speaking with Gideon about his brother's state of mind, I think the best thing for them both would be a reconciliation. There's something about Zach's story that he is leaving out. Though the death of his friends and comrades was heavy on him.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common to be able to hold a conversation for the time they did.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not. No. He cannot be rude. He just doesn't have it in him.
Oof. It's one of those types.
Was it not your brother that punched Monsieur Hagen?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like her, he would work his way around every single one of them, offering his full attention and finest manners.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
Alright. Let's take a look around. Not expecting to find much.
Huh.
Another plant. The window. More music. How rich do you have to be to have a phonograph in each room? An ornamental dagger from Zachary's time in the war. That could be the murder weapon. The fireplace. Cigarette butts. Littered with a mess, cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray. And lots of drinks have gone missing.
Aha.
Alright. Zach?
Always got time for my The dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
It's only an issue because of the stab wound on the Major.
I shall give you the opportunity to explain the reason for it being here before I jump to any conclusions.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not been the best brother in recent years. I thought this could make up for some of it. After what happened to the Major, I thought it was a bit tasteless.
Duh, I agree.
You did not see it fitting to tell me you were harboring a rather sizable knife in your room?
I wouldn't say harboring. And I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
True.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
And otherwise, I think it would have been a great gift. Especially if the other person likes knives. Alright, now we're in Becker's room. Without him here, I am free to search it. Nothing here. Lots of letters. Poirot, you're not looking at the things I would like you to look at. Inside Hugo's notebook. A hasty scribble regarding a meeting with who I assume is Ernesto. Curious. A note sitting next to the fireplace. Unsuccessfully thrown. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? You underestimate the power of man's defiance. Okay, that could be useful information. It's a plant. It's a window. Photograph. With so many siblings, it must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention. Wow. Nothing about the bed. Alright. Off I go.